So how should Texas and the rest of the country proceed with that in mind? The country's being invaded. No one is stopping it. Well, Jesse Kelly recently tweeted an idea. Here's what he said. Ignore them, meaning the courts. Create a 10-state coalition to stand with you, meaning with Texas. Arrest and deport every illegal in your state. Arrest and try anyone from the federal government who tries to stop you. It's time.
It is time right now for the states, especially red states, to re-examine the nature of their relationship with the federal government. The country is being destroyed now. It's not an accident what's happening on the border. The people who lead the nation from the federal level, they are encouraging flooding the border with illegals. They want America full of illegals, no loyalty to America, criminals, murderers. That is what they want, because when you cause violence and chaos in a society, that's the fertile soil where communism grows. People will always turn to the government and beg them for help when that kind of societal collapse comes.
Is this thing working? Hey, man, I want to tell you something. People may say what they want to about Jesse Kelly. Like we said the other day, Jesse Kelly is not a conservative. He is not a Republican. Jesse Kelly is an anti-communist. And I want to tell you something. I love that idea. That's why when I seen that, I was like, man, we gotta bring this out one more time. We might need to bring this out on the daily, because we got to do something to close our border.
Yeah, we do. And they just are not interested in closing our border. We've just watched what happened in our Congress over the last few months, and they just don't care about what's going on at our border. The people are demanding, and they have been demanding, that we all stand up, that you stand up and do something about what we have been asking you to do. Since the Republicans held Congress, we have asked you to close our border, and you have not done it.
Ain't done a thing. We ask you, too, to also fix our election laws. You ain't done it.
So I think it's time. I think Jesse Kelly is correct. We need more states to come in with Texas, who is getting invaded on a daily basis. And no matter what Governor Abbott is doing, it's still happening, every single day.
Yeah. And just like with Jesse Kelly's suggestion here, his solution here, man, I would propose that, too. That would be a bill, but before we put that bill up, I would want a resolution to that bill, too. And my resolution would be so much different than their resolutions to the FISA bill, because in my resolution to Jesse's bill, I'd say any congressman that supports and works toward keeping that border wide open would be subject to those same laws, and he could be arrested the same as anybody else. And that's where I'd go with it. And I guarantee you, if you could push that and get that through, that border would shut tomorrow.
Maybe it would.
I guarantee it would.
Guarantee it. Hey, something might happen. Welcome to the show, everyone. But before we get started today, we want to state these are opinions that we just gave to everyone out there. They're our own, mine and James's. And if you agree with us, tell your friends and share the show. Also, stump that like button, and please follow or subscribe wherever you see our name. Is this thing working? You help James and I further our reach when you share the show. And we thank you so much for listening. We have a good time. It's fun. But yesterday, we introduced a new sponsor. And we're so excited to have them aboard, aren't we, James?
Oh, we are. Yeah, it's Pure Hemp Botanicals. We both use these products. These are great for us. They've added to the quality of our life. They've helped improve things with us. And like I've talked about before, the arthritis that I have in my hands, this does wonders for me. As well or better than any ibuprofen. Plus, it's safer on my stomach. It's safer for me. Pure Hemp Botanicals is a great company, and this is some of the things that they've got. They've got a free membership where you can earn Pure Rewards. You can earn rewards points on every purchase you make at Pure Hemp Botanicals. They also have subscriptions so that you can save money and time. All you need to do is order once, and you can sit back, relax, and enjoy your monthly delivery of Pure Hemp Botanicals. And also, one of the best things that they have about them is the deals and the sales that they have. They have sales, they have package bundles. Discover what's on sale at Pure Hemp Botanicals. Shop around the deals page for special savings and get deeper discounts when you purchase CBD bundles. Your wallet and your wellness are at the top of your mind.
Yeah, and what's exciting is that this is our 8-year anniversary. So everything on the site is 40% off. So we welcome Pure Hemp Botanicals to Is This Thing Working as one of their sponsors. Thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Well, let's get rolling. Are you ready? Here we go.
Yes, we do. We have some announcements to make before we start. James and I have been working on, that's okay. Let me start over.
I'm getting excited, ain't I?
Yeah, it's okay. We are getting started. I mean, you can say that. We have some announcements to make. James and I, as you know, have been working on more content to get out to our listeners. There's so much going on right now. You know, the politics and then the things outside of the politics and what's going on in, you know, every state. And then some stuff we might not be able to cover during our show. So we're making extra time for that. So with James starting his new Sunday edition, which is where he gives you extra information and teaches you something that we've discovered that might be confusing for you. So he works on that, and it's pretty cool. I really loved this last Sunday's edition of James's show. So y'all check that out. And now I am working on a show, and it's on Texas News. It's a Texas News edition of Is This Thing Working, which is focused on Texas crime and to explain why I think that's an important topic to discuss. Last week, on April 16th, the Oversight Committee held a hearing on how the border crisis impacts public safety, and Representative Glenn Glothman had this to say. He said, "The fact is that illegal aliens should not be in the country in the first place and able to commit these crimes. Moreover, an analysis of Texas Department of Public Safety data showed that illegal aliens are more likely to be convicted of homicide, sexual assault, and kidnapping than the average Texan. The solutions aren't hard. Secure the border, stop releasing illegal aliens into the country in droves, and when an illegal alien commits a crime in the community, turn them over to ICE, enforce the law, and remove them. It's just that simple."
It really is. It really is that simple.
It really is. So we will be talking more and more about the border. You know how we try to keep the border on the front of everybody's mind? We need to like get that out there.
Yeah.
We need to do it more.
Yeah, and you know what? You continue to sit here and listen to all of our congressmen and all of our government sit here and talk about how they're going to solve all these problems, but yet the biggest, most obvious problem staring us all right in the face is a wide open border, and yet they refuse to do anything about that one.
I know. And it's disgusting that nothing about the border except for the NGOs. The NGOs are getting paid in that bill.
You bet they are. $9 billion, to the tune of $9 billion.
Yes.
And that's what I was fixing to say, too. I guess, to be fair, our Congress is doing something about a border, but it's not our border.
No, it's not. It's Ukraine's border, and Israel, and the Indo-Pacific. It's anybody but ours. They throw our money continually at foreign wars.
Yeah.
You know, I'm over it. I'm over not taking care of the people in America.
Building the military-industrial complex.
You know, I don't understand why they hate MAGA so much for just wanting to make America great again.
Yeah. Well, even Mike Johnson, and if you listen to a lot of what he had said even just a couple of weeks earlier when all of this began to get ramped up, he come on Fox News that morning with Brian Kilmeade, and he said that this would be a great thing, that this foreign aid package would be a great thing as far as what? Arms sales. He said that. He said that to Brian Kilmeade, and the news media just blew right past it, never said a word.
No, because that's what they want.
I get it.
They want arms sales.
Yeah,
they want more money for America's arms. And I do believe that not too long ago, a bill was passed, and a bill before that. I mean, how much money do they need?
Does it seem? Yeah, and it seems like about every 3 to 4 months we're throwing money at them.
More money.
60 billion, 95 billion.
I feel like they're starting wars all over the place to get more money.
Well,
they've
always done that.
I don't know. I find it all ridiculous. But you know, everyone heard that the bill passed the Senate yesterday, 79 to 18. It just makes me sick at how many conservatives, supposedly conservatives, how many? 29 Republicans said yes.
Yep.
And you can guess it. Cornyn from Texas is right there in the mix, as always.
Well, out of the 29, probably 27 of them are no shock to me. I was kind of surprised at Kennedy.
And Scott from South Carolina. I was
Yep.
kind of surprised
Tim
with that
Scott.
one.
Me too, especially after he was there at South Carolina with President Trump.
Oh, of course. Well, Lindsey Graham probably talked him into it, probably threatened him or something. That's all they do.
But there's no telling. But yeah, out of all those, I think Kennedy and Scott were the two that surprised me out of that. Maybe Tom Cotton.
Well, Tom Cotton, he tends to vote on arms. I don't know what it is. He's very conservative, but when it comes for the Army and the military, he will vote every single time. He just does. Now, but what doesn't surprise me at all is McConnell. And the fact that McConnell comes out afterwards. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, McConnell, he's the...
Everybody knows.
Does everybody know who McConnell is? James is over there making fun of me. Do you think? Okay, well, I'm going to leave it there. If you don't know who McConnell is, please just leave us a comment and tell James that maybe you needed to know that information. Okay? All right, here we go. Anyway, McConnell comes out with a stupid ass. Okay.
There you go. Talk real to me, baby. Talk real to me. Finally.
Let me tell you now what's going to happen just by this headline right here. McConnell is already blaming Republicans and MAGA for Ukraine's loss. We have talked about and stressed over and over, Ukraine is already losing. They're losing. There is no way that this money is going to help them win.
No.
None.
Not at all.
Whatsoever. So here's a talking point. We delayed it. How dare us? Now Ukraine can't win because of us. And then he goes on to say, so much of the hesitation and short-sightedness that had delayed this moment is premised on sheer fiction, and I take no pleasure in rebutting misguided fantasies, McConnell said. Idiot. Make no mistake, the delay in providing Ukraine the weapons to defend itself has strained the prospects of defeating Russian aggression. Dithering and hesitation have compounded the challenges we face, he declared.
That is all bullshit. That's all gaslighting. That's all, like you say, it's just a ploy to somehow turn something else around again and blame President Trump each
Always.
and every time.
Every single time.
Yep.
The FISA and now this. I mean, they're just like really socking it to everybody. And then he goes on and he blames Tucker also. So it's ridiculous. I can't even really get really into this article because it's total gaslighting, total come out and dogged everybody else that were not into funding Ukraine.
Yeah. And what J.D. Vance said, that fundamentally we lack the capacity to manufacture the amount of weapons Ukraine needs to supply to win the war. So what are we doing? What are we doing with our money? What are we doing here?
Well, I do know people are saying that it's going over there to come right back to the Democrats' coffer.
There you go.
Or to the Never Trumpers' coffers as well.
Yep, that's the truth.
And that's the truth. And it's really sad because what all's going on here with President Trump is out of control.
Yep.
What they have done.
And speaking of him, yeah, he's the one good thing, I guess, today is that he's not on trial.
Yeah, not today. But he has a statement that he came out this morning with. I do want to read it and just keep this in mind. From President Trump on his Truth Social, it says, this New York cabal run by crooked Joe Biden's White House is a hit job on a political opponent the likes of which the USA has never seen before. For the good of our country, it must be stopped. The crooked Joe Biden witch hunts have to be ended. Republicans in Washington must take action. In caps.
Yep.
They must take action now. So it's time for them to stand up.
Yeah.
People are calling for it.
It is.
But we come up with a funny video that we just thought would be lighthearted about President Trump because we love him and we
found this. This is pretty
this.
cool. This is probably older. I bet a lot of people have seen it, but it's still pretty good.
Trump the Don, back at it again. This time in the countryside. Shout out Jason Aldean, Morgan Wallen, and Dana White. I could have just retired in peace. I could have been golfing with my niece. I could have been chilling on the beach. But I got too much love for the streets. Hey, let's make America great. for every religion and race. Yeah, men don't have a vagina. The radical left works for China. All I ever wanted for the USA was a good economy for your family. Protect the southern border, make a place that's safe for your kids to go outside and play. Look at San Francisco, take a look at LA. Look at New York City, man, it just ain't...
Hey, if he ain't nominated for Country Music Artist Newcomer of the Year this year, man, the thing is rigged.
I know, it really is. That was funny. We found that, and I know it's kind of a little old, but still, it's funny.
Yeah.
President Trump, he can make some funny stuff happen. We always laugh at all of his rallies. There's always something that he comes up with that's funny.
Hilarious, yeah.
So he just makes us laugh, and we just want to bring a little brevity into it because he is going through some serious stuff right now. So serious that our Congress is just not helping out.
They're turning their heads. They're looking the other way.
They're looking the other way. And when are they? Me and James are asking this question. Where are they, our Congress? When are they going to focus on the lawfare against President Trump? When are they? They've been totally giving the DOJ, all of the FBI, everybody money, funds. They continue on, giving them money.
It's not even just focusing on the lawfare on President Trump. It's the fact that they do absolutely nothing that helps me, you, our yard man out here mowing the yard, our neighbors over here that are self-employed, that are working and trying to make them. They don't do anything to help improve our education system. They don't do anything but try to regulate us and control us. Steve Bannon had this to say about them, and I agree completely. They deserve to lose.
The House, the Republicans don't deserve the House. This, with President Trump, is a criminal conspiracy. It's now been shown. You got the White House, you got DOJ. The head guy at DOJ is arguing the frickin' case in New York in a state court for Manhattan prosecutors. Now Julie Kelly, because she's done the hard work, has shown you what's happening with the classified documents setup. The whole thing is a scam, from Fonnie Willis to Jack Smith to Big Tish James. A conspiracy on lawfare, and it's working. And the reason it's working, we're allowing it to work. You are worthless, Jim Jordan. You are worthless, Polly Pockets Johnson. Worthless, and I don't care how many puff pieces in Politico, and I don't care how many times Chuck Schumer. That condemns you even more. You are working with and for people out to destroy the country, and it is obvious now, as the nose on your face, it's obvious that the House Republicans want Trump to lose. They're going to raise all this money for Paul Singer to hold the House and maybe add a seat, take a couple of seats in the Senate, and they're just fine with that because they think they can wait MAGA out where they got other news coming.
He's exactly right. You're not going to wait us out. You're not going to wait us out this time.
No.
And each one of these, just like you said, when are they going to recognize the lawfare? When are they going to stand up and speak out? If you remember from the very first indictment, none of them said a word on the House floor about it. Remember how quiet they were?
Yes, and they have continued to be quiet. You know, he is
absolutely right. And that's where I'm at with it.
And Bannon says he is just giving up on the Republican Party because they are not fighting back against legal efforts against President Trump. And this is ridiculous why they have let this go on so long. You know, and he did reference Julie Kelly and the great work that she has been doing over there
on the J6 reporting,
on the January 6th reporting, on the
immunity case, on the classified documents case.
You know, in this January 6th case that we're going to talk about. I mean, she wrote this beautiful article that will explain what is going on with this January 6th case. Yep. The headline says, DOJ and Judge Chutkan, not Trump, are to blame for the delay in January 6th case. And what's so crazy is they continue to say that it's President Trump that's delaying it with the immunity. We haven't mentioned this yet today, but tomorrow the immunity case is before the Supreme Court. This is the most important case of President Trump's history. So we will be right on it tomorrow. But what we want to mention out of this article is a few key points.
Yep. The first key point in this is that Shukin, an Obama appointee, the Judge Shukin, an Obama appointee who also imposed a wide-ranging gag order against President Trump and his legal team, denied President Trump's motion to dismiss the case based on presidential immunity. This is what she said. Whatever immunities a sitting president may enjoy, the United States has only one chief executive at a time, and that position does not confer a lifelong get-out-of-jail-free pass. Former presidents enjoy no special conditions on their federal criminal liability. Defendant may be subject to federal investigation, indictment, prosecution, conviction, and punishment for any criminal acts undertaken while in office, Shukin wrote in a 48-page order issued on December 1st of 2023.
That's nuts.
If that position, if she wants to stand there and stand on that position, then come January 20th of 2025, somebody better drag Joe Biden's old ass in front of her and tell her, here we go. We're fixing to try this, man. Let's see where you stand, Judge Shukin. I don't even care to pronounce your damn name right. Where are we going to stand? I'd love to call you on the carpet on that shit. Anyway, that's my rant about that. Boy, it irritates me to see her.
I understand.
To see
totally.
the arrogance and to see the moral high ground you're wanting to take, and you're so damn busy to look over here at this side and completely throw your blinders up and ignore what's going on over here. We all see it. We all know what it is.
Yes, and it also comes from, unlikely places of all things, like the Republican Party. I mean, Liz Cheney, y'all remember her, the January 6th non-select committee person that wasn't even supposed to be on the committee chair. Julie Kelly writes, none other than unhinged Trump stalker Liz Cheney took to the pages of the New York Times on Monday to implore the Supreme Court to move quickly and derail Trump's imaginary stall tactics, otherwise known in legal and judicial circus as due process rights. Cheney writes, I know how Mr. Trump's delay tactics work. Our committee had to spend months litigating his privilege claims before we could gain access to White House records. If Mr. Trump's tactics prevent his January 6th trial from proceeding in the ordinary course, he will also have succeeded in concealing critical evidence from the American people, evidence demonstrating his disregard for the rule of law, his cruelty on January 6th, and the deep flaws in character that make him unfit to serve as president. That is what she has said. That's what she continues to say over and over and over again until you get that conditioned in your brain. But every bit of what she said has already been tried in an impeachment trial. And they found him what? Not guilty. And you know what they're pissed about? That. Because if they had found him guilty in that impeachment trial, guess what he wouldn't be doing today? Running for president. This is exactly the main reason they are going after him with this lawfare over and over and over again, to try him on the exact same things they tried him on already.
Which all goes back to Steve Bannon's point. Jim Jordan, Tom Cotton, Tim Scott, all of you that are that we've brought up and mentioned today, you're prime examples of this. You're not doing anything to help our country. And for you to sit here and be quiet while they sit here and weaponize the entire government against President Trump, and you sit here and you say nothing, I agree with Steve Bannon, man. You got to go. You've got to go. You got to get out of here.
Yeah. One more point we want to make, though, here. It's very upsetting to us, and I get James's anger and frustration about all of this because it's continually. For 7 years, they've gone after this man, and it just doesn't work. And we got Steve Bannon over here. He's like very angry, and he is who we're supposed to be listening to.
Well,
this is who
people like him, Dan Bongino,
yes,
Tucker Carlson. These guys are bringing you what's actually going on.
And it's very important to pay attention to them. Almost 2 years into the DOJ's active investigation without an indictment in sight, Trump announced in November 2022 he would seek re-election. That prompted Garland to appoint Jack Smith as special counsel in an unconvincing attempt to make Smith's work appear independent from the Biden appointees at Main Justice, which we all know is not independent.
Right. Good point to bring out with that is we just reported on this yesterday morning on our show. We found out through the unredacted statements now and through the unredacted papers that the White House colluded with the DOJ and with Jack Smith on the Mar-a-Lago raids. So
Yes.
by doing that and deductive reasoning, it's a safe assumption to say that the White House was involved in this also.
Yeah, they were. But the last paragraph in this article reads, regardless of what the justices signal on Thursday, either a willingness to side with Chutkan and the DOJ or a deep skepticism about their position on immunity, Trump vultures will continue to bully SCOTUS to make a quick decision.
With the farcical sideshow unfolded in Manhattan, the classified documents case backfiring in southern Florida, and the RICO case in Fulton County disappearing from the headlines, never Trumpers and Democrats need the J6 trial to get underway as soon as possible.
There you go. There you have it, folks. They want January 6th case in front of them because they have used January 6th case as election interference for 4 years. And that's what they're going to count on. They want this. That's why we spoke about this January 6th case today. It's because that's what they want. They want it there. They want it in front of you so they can lie and put on a show in front of the media. And then they want Trump to lose this case and be called a criminal, the one that he's on in New York right now with Alvin Bragg, that we also know that the Biden White House was behind also. So look who's over there, Michael Colangelo.
Mm-hmm.
He's from the Biden DOJ, a former Biden DOJ.
Right.
Is actually the prosecutor over here in the New York case. So it's happening everywhere. We know it's all election interference, every bit of it. What I want to know is what's going to be done about it. What are our congressmen and women going to do about President Trump's right in your face lawfare? Right in your face. We all know it is.
And we're tired of it. Is this thing working?
Rise up.
Well, hey, everybody, that's it for today. Thanks for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed the show. Hope you've learned some things about what's going on around us in the nation and in your communities. You know, we couldn't do this without your continued support either. We appreciate all of you showing up, taking the time to listen to us today. So please, like I say, make sure to hit the like button, share our show with all your friends. We'll see you next time on Is This Thing Working? And as always, I'm James, and that's my lovely co-host over there,
Denise.
and we'll see you next time.
We're out.